Oh, chubbicorn.
Okay, we will start with wind-ups, where the pitcher holds the ball and does a series of steps or moves before throwing. And this is going to be a right-handed wind-up pose. It's going to be like three-quarter view, not exactly facing the batter. And so here we have the head and torso. I'm drawing the upper arm that is going to go into the glove. So the ball is going to be in the glove. And then I'm going to draw the other forearm, which comes down behind the glove, but also the knee and that front leg overlaps behind the arm. And then that leg will just drop straight down. And then I'm going to follow that gesture line down to the other leg that is planted on the ground. Just some details of the shirt, and then let's add the hat. So to draw the bill of a hat takes some practice, but you just kind of have to look at a hat closely and see that curve. And then there's a little bit of a peak at the top of the hat for the behind the bill. Okay, so next pose will be another wind up. This could be the pitcher throwing to us, but in this particular pose, the pitcher is facing completely sideways, because there are some wind-ups that start off facing sideways and then the pitcher rotates to throw the ball. So this is another right-handed pitcher, and then leg up and one leg down. And then I have the arm that is holding up the glove. We won't see the ball because the ball is in the glove, being held by the left or by the right hand. So there's the glove. And then there's the profile of the head. I just drew one line for the eyes. And then the hat just kind of lines up right behind the glove there. And I drew a little ear. I don't know if you noticed that, just to show for some reference. All right, this next one is a left-handed pitcher just about to throw. So the leg is dropping down. First I'll draw that torso. And then here's that lower leg. The leg's coming down to be about to step forward as the momentum of the body is going to go to our left on the screen. And so you can kind of see that the balance is off here. If you were to drop a straight line down from the head to the foot that's planted, it would barely graze the back of the heel. And that just implies movement, forward movement. So this person couldn't hold this pose very long. So they are planning to, like I said, glide to the left, step and twist and throw that ball. All right, so there's the glove, and then I'm just going to draw that lower leg, or that foot right there planted. And then let's draw the head now facing the batter. And then we'll draw the bill of the hat first, and then I like to build the rest of the hat back behind the bill. All right, this next pose will be this will be a right-handed pose, and it's going to be just before throwing the ball, so kind of stepping forward from that wind up. The foot is about to touch the ground. We've got the torso at a diagonal here, and then we'll have a kind of a counterbalance with the leg, so going the opposite direction of the torso's angle. And this leg is probably hovering above the ground there, and that's what I meant by almost like stepping forward to launch that ball with the momentum of the body. The other foot is back and planted, so the weight right now is on the back foot, and they're going to be stepping right towards us as they throw the ball. So this is a pitcher that is pitching at us. That upper arm is foreshortened, and then the forearm, we see the full length of it going into the glove. The glove is pointed down. And then we will see the ball right there, and we'll see the ball being pulled back from the glove, and there's the grip of the hand, and only the forearm is hidden behind the rest of the body. And there's the bill of the hat facing us, and then I'll build the rest of the hat behind that bill. And that's pretty much it for this pose. Next one is going to be a left-handed pose, and we have a side view here. So this is as if we were on first base. And then we have a torso curved. It's a very short gesture line because it doesn't really continue into the legs. The legs are really not flow from the torso. They're kind of spread out. So we have one leg down and plants it on the ground, and the other trailing foot is kind of dragging behind as the momentum shifts forward. And then we have an arm back and up. There's the ball, and then we'll have the hand, the forearm, and then the fingers kind of wrapped around the ball. All right, the other arm is going to be out and down, and then that glove is going to be curled up to kind of keep it out of the way of the legs, the body. All right, the character is going to be a 3/4 view with the head, and then there is the bill of the hat, and the hat built up behind that, the rest of the hat. All right, let's do another left-handed pose. This one is pretty similar. This one actually should have been before the last pose there in order of throwing. This one, the character is still mid-step. You can see one foot in the air, and then the back leg is going to be, the foot's dragging on the ground. So this is a really high action pose, side view. And then we have the arm up, but the forearm is down, gripping the ball there. And then the other arm, same thing, elbow up, and then forearm down with the glove curled and tucked underneath. Again, to keep out of the way of the movement of the legs and body. And then we will draw the fingers gripping the ball, and we'll have a 3/4 view, slightly downturned head. You can see the curve of the eye line there. And then the bill of the hat, a little bit lower on the face with the hat behind. And that's it for that one. Next one is going to be a side view right-handed pitcher. So this is as if we are like on third base. There's a long curved gesture line that's going to connect into that upper leg. There's the bending of the torso. There's the upper right leg. And the lower part of the right leg is the toes kind of dragging on the ground, while the left leg steps and plants forward, shifting the weight from the back to the front. And then we have the forearm with the glove curled up as the right arm is up and back for the forearm, gripping the ball there. We can go ahead and draw the fingers around the ball. And then let's draw the face. We have a side view, so just one line, and then there's a little nose and jawline. And then here is the bill of the hat, side view there. All right, that's it for that pose. Next one is going to be another right-hand pitcher, but pitching at us, so we are the batter. And we'll have a curving torso. I like to draw head and torso first, just because then I can balance out the limbs. Even when drawing from reference, it's good to just establish the head and torso, because that all the limbs will just come out from there, and it really sets up the balance and the direction to pose. All right, so we have one leg back, one leg forward. This leg here is plants on the ground, and then glove is, kind of tucked in close to the body, and then we won't see much of the arm leading to that glove. There's the opening of the jersey, and then the head is tilted back slightly. There's the arm into the glove, and then we'll see all of this arm. So it's coming up and back, and there is a little shirt there, and there's the ball. This time the ball is leaving the pitcher's hand, so it's just about to, you can see just the thumb and the index finger making contact. And then here's the hat, kind of a tricky bill to draw because we're looking underneath it. So it's not my favorite angle to draw the bill of a hat. Okay, so this next one is another right-handed pose, but this is after the ball is released. So we'll have, look at that change of, if you look at the pose to the left, the torso totally changes direction, like as far as it concave versus convex, how it's bending now forward. We have one planted foot and one foot in the air. And then we have the arm down and kind of swinging over as it's following through from the momentum of the throw. And then we have like a slightly, like a little bit off center. Pitcher's not exactly facing us. There's the bill of the hat. I still need to draw that other arm with the glove. So let's go ahead and draw that right about behind the elbow. And we won't really see the forearm on that one. All right, this second to last pose is going to be a left-handed pitcher. Another one that's following through. The ball has left his hand, and it's a side view. So look at how dramatic that torso comes out of the side of the body. And I'm drawing it like a cylinder. You see how I have the base there, because we're kind of behind underneath the torso. And then the leg just kicks up, and I'm gonna draw just a cartoony foot. I should have probably drawn cleats, but it's okay. Now look at this leg. It looks like it's going backwards, but it's just straight, just locked in place. What makes it look curved backwards would be the curves on the back end, so the calf and the other muscle of the leg. Then we have the arm just kind of swinging across and behind the planted foot or leg. There's a little shirt sleeve. And then the other arm is bent up and out of the way with the glove. The glove is behind that lifted up leg. And then let's go ahead and just a little bit of grips again. Cartoony shoe. We'll draw clean up some lines here, then draw the hat. So there's a side view of the hat and a little bill, and then it just kind of comes up to a peak. And that's pretty much it. All right, this last pose is a left-handed pitcher, and I think they'll be pitching towards us. I can't remember the source of the photo that I drew from here, but it's different pose than the last one. You see that foot planted, and then the other one tilted up. So similar pose, just different angle, I would say. So the arm is swinging down as the ball has been released, and then we can even draw the ball, right? There's the glove curled up, the forearm, and then the ball is right there. So there is the hat, the bill of the hat, and then we'll build up the body of the hat behind. All right, that's pretty much it. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe. Let's try to get to 10,000.